This week on The Cone, we're going to talk about something that gets people really fired up. No, not what we're going to have for dinner. I'm talking about dog food hype. Let's check it out.
And now, the vet whose wife believes he is still on a diet, Dr. Andy Rourke.
So what are some of the myths you've heard about dog food?
It's just carrots and antifreeze?
It's made from leftover cat food.
No and no. Here are the top 3 dog food myths that need to be busted. There's a myth that grain is the #1 culprit behind food allergies. Therefore, if we go grain-free, the itching and scratching our dog has will stop. And if it doesn't, it must not be a food allergy. The research simply doesn't back this up. The truth is, food allergies are all about proteins. That's plant or animal proteins. You can't have an allergy to just fat or carbs. There's got to be a protein involved. And some foods are more likely to cause allergies than others because of the animal proteins that are there. So, meat and eggs are more likely to cause food allergies than, say, grains. Again, I'm not saying that grain-free foods are bad or that one is not going to be awesome for your pet. What I'm saying is, if your dog is allergic to beef and you feed him a grain-free food that has beef in it, you're still going to have an itchy, miserable dog. The other part of the grain myth, aside from the whole food allergy thing, is just that grains are bad for dogs or that they're just filler. Nobody likes filler. I mean, what's the point? It just goes on and on. I try to avoid it myself. Hey, let's watch a cat video. Fillers don't provide any nutritional benefits to dogs. Grains, like corn, however, has omega-6 fatty acids, which is good for skin and coat. It has fiber for digestive health, and it's got antioxidants to help with vision. I'm not saying you should feed your dog a bowl full of corn. What I am saying is that grains are not bad for most dogs, and getting a complete and balanced diet is what really counts. There's a myth that if you buy some super expensive, highfalutin, fancy dog food you have to get a second mortgage to pay for, then you are covered. Whether I'm talking about a medical diet that your veterinarian says that your pet really needs, or just a really high quality diet. I see people buy these and then they just love to take them and put table scraps on top of them, or put canned dog food, some cheapo dog food on top of it. And then they wonder why it doesn't work. I think that people think of these top-line diets like medicine, where if you just give it, then the condition you're trying to deal with will be addressed and you can sort of do whatever you want on the side. Unfortunately, that's not how this works. That's kind of like if you were to go and get some super premium healthy smoothie that's fortified with all the vitamins and minerals that you need, and then chase it down with a supersized jumbo fry and extra creamy milkshake. I know why you do it, but it completely defeats the point. The most frustrating thing that I see is when people have a really allergic dog and they spend a ton of money on this awesome, incredible hypoallergenic diet. But then when their pet needs to take a pill, they take the pill and they stick it in something like cheese or cream cheese that the pet might be allergic to, and then they just give it to them. It's kind of like washing your hands and then drying them with poison ivy. Imagine having a kid who's allergic to peanuts and you make this really specialized non-peanut diet every single day. And then one day, your kid gets a headache, and so you get some aspirin and you stick it in some peanut butter and you give it to them. It's kind of the same thing. It doesn't take a lot. Also, if you've got a balanced diet, and commercial dog foods are balanced diets, and then you add stuff to it, you can throw it out of balance.
And then your dog will just stumble around.
Finally, if you're serious about diet, you need to know what you can use for treats. Get a treat that matches what you're doing, or just use the food itself as a treat. The third myth is that there is a best diet. Listen, some dogs can eat a huge variety of diets and they do wonderfully on all of them. Other dogs have sensitive stomachs or allergies or special nutritional requirements based on their breed or their daily activities or medical conditions. There is a best diet for your dog. It's just not the same for every dog, and it can change throughout their lives. You know your dog better than people on Facebook, at the dog park, or at the pet store. Unless your dog is playing you. Don't let your dog play you. Know your dog and know your dog's friends. But other than that, if your dog looks good, feels good, does great at vet checkups, and eats a balanced diet, then keep doing what you're doing. And that is our show. Thank you so much for watching our show today. Please join me in the future for other episodes of Cone of Shame. Check out the Ask Dr. Andy episodes. Listen, you can get everything. I'll email it to you. All you have to do is sign up for my weekly updates, and I'll send them over. There's a link right over here. Check it out. Sign up, and I'm going to hook you up. Until then, let's be the people that our pets deserve.
This episode of Cone of Shame brought to you by Royal Canin.